What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are here with another rebuild on Madden 22, and today it's actually going to be what would hopefully be a fun one, a very challenging one, probably the worst roster in Madden right now. I don't even know if I could say probably. I think it is the worst roster in Madden, because the Seahawks at least still have like DK Metcalf and Lockett and Adams, whereas this team... I mean, you kind of really only have Tunsil, and even him, I thought he was kind of like unhappy with the situation. They were like thinking about trading him. But yeah, this is a team that needs a bit of help. Now, this is a team that I absolutely would love to use for a Madden franchise next year, but I'm going to be honest with you. I imagine the top YouTube franchise tyrants that they are, keeping the little man down, or just salivating over this, so I'm going to have to just step aside now. But they probably are salivating for it, and, you know, I'm not going to be stepping on any toes in that situation. You know, it's like a flip of the coin, maybe like a celebrity death match to see who gets them. I don't know, but there's a lot of teams. However, this is probably the team that is the absolute toughest to work with, which is once again why I would love to use them. I mean, running back situation is awful. Receivers, you need them. Tight end, maybe you could develop Brevin Jordan. I don't know if it's going to happen here in this rebuild, but this is basically what the roster looks like. I mean, a bunch of bronze low overall players. Of course, they traded for Blake Cashman, a 6th-round pick to the Jets. Not the worst move. Kind of a decent move, obviously. Some quarterback trade. I don't even remember who it was, like Deshaun Watson or something. I don't know. Some guy. They got a couple of first-round picks or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, all things considered, talking about the Deshaun Watson trade real quick, considering, you know, there was, like, basically no chance he would come back to the team, considering the off-the-field issues, things that could potentially come back to haunt them. I don't know. And just overall, like, a character situation, it's not the worst thing for Houston. They're done with the drama. All of that is past them now. They know what they have. They know what their picks are. They know what they need to do to turn things around. They don't have any, you know, question, oh, what can we get for Watson? Oh, is Watson coming back? Oh, what is this? They know what the plan is. They just have to execute, of course, those 3 first-round picks, a 3rd and a 4th, I believe. Once again, you should have probably gotten a player, even if it was Baker Mayfield on top of it. I don't know how the hell he wasn't a part of that trade, but if so, I mean, I've heard that they really do like Davis Mills, but still, why not bring Baker in just for the hell of it? I don't know. It's questionable, but regardless, we have all the sim games set, which was super annoying to do. We have the XP on 0%, so no one should go up in overall. We have the updated rosters all the way down to maybe not Robert Woods. I think Robert Woods might be still on the Rams, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really affect us too much. Actually, he's literally on the Titans. All right, I made the play there, and we're going to start simulating. But speaking of Devontae as well, before we do the simulation, I think Devontae will be the rebuild for him and the Raiders will be either tomorrow or sometime this week. I kind of did them halfway, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this one first, actually, and because it's going to be a little bit more fun, I feel. And yeah, that's about it. Bruh. We're at the bye week, and Rex Burkhead is our veteran guy talking. What is this, dude? This team, please help. Send help. So free agency. I don't know if, you know, Houston is just going to be not going for any name. Damn you, Tom Brady. I always forget. Of course, we're in the AFC, so it doesn't really matter too much anyways. If we're going to get this team to a Super Bowl caliber team, it's not going to be the Buccaneers that are going to matter at that point, because Brady will be long gone regardless. Hooper's in free agency all of a sudden again. You got to remember, a lot of these names that we did, you know, that are on the right teams are kind of on one-year deals and whatnot. This is the best way to do it. So, once again, as long as they can, like, Rasul got a 3-year deal with the Packers, but that's not a huge thing. As long as it's not the big names. That's all I care about. If it's the lower-end names, you know, even DJ Reed, you know, I'm cool with it. As long as it's not the big names. And honestly, I mean, outside of maybe a running back, I'm not really sure. Is Zach Cunningham back in Houston? Like, I'm not, you know, I don't really know what we can do. Maybe get Zach Cunningham back. I don't know what the, you know, situation is in real life. Titans restructure. Well, never mind. We just drafted running back. I mean, this class of free agents, man, they so bad. It's just so bad. Just like the subscriber count lately is so. Leave a like and subscribe. That's it. If you guys like rebuilds, leave a like and subscribe. That's all I can really do for you. That's all I can tell you. That's the only information that I've got. Quarterback is an option. Once again, I do kind of want to give Davis Mills a chance. I'm also using... Whoa! Kenny Pickett! How are you doing, pal? Like I said, I'm using a new class. This is kind of cheating, if you will, but we kind of know how this is going to go. In real life, we're assuming a tackle is going number 1 overall. We're assuming Aiden Hutchinson's going number 2. And then Evan Neal or, one of the tackles in number 3, if we still have number 3, which we should, because that's what happens in real life. But, a lot of this is all kind of just, random from here. So, yeah, I don't really care too much about looking at the ratings. Jordan Davis is a little bit high here. Some of these guys just aren't really, I don't want to look at the overalls, but at the same time, I kind of need to move this around a little bit. Willis, maybe a 9. I think 14 for Jordan Davis is pretty good. Charles Cross should be up there a bit more. Olave should be lower. Maybe Karlaftis is a little bit higher. Is that his name, right? Karlaftis. Yeah, I think so. Nakobe Dean is a little high as well. Maybe Trevor Penning is a little high there too, but that's kind of... I don't want to go any further because our second pick, I'm not sure what I want to do with, even though we kind of spoiled it anyways. But yeah, I like that a little bit more. I should also save this back. I just want a new class because I'm not really liking too much of the kind of class that we've been using. There's a lot of players that just aren't actually even eligible anymore or going to be eligible. So this was one of the most recent files. It had 2 likes, 3 dislikes that there was. So, as long as they're not too highly rated, I seen a lot of the projections were pretty fair. So we're going to give it a go. This team needs everything. Just put it that way. I think we're going to be trading our second pick for sure. The first pick, as far as real life goes, that you just have to assume they're going to go with tackle, opposite side of Tunsil. And in game, I would like to trade that down, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Although March 1st, the general manager said he's open to trade in the third pick. The question is, can he get someone to trade up there for it? I don't know. I hope we do have the third pick though, because we're deserved it. So if that's not the case, I'm going to be sad. And, okay, we're a little off with Cleveland, but that's fine. As long as pick 3 is correct, I think we might trade down. There's some tackles. They might not be as good as the top 2, but there's some tackles that are talented. The Texans need everything. I might do it. I think the problem more than anything in real life is actually finding someone to trade up to number 3. So, unless you're going to find someone to trade up to number 3 for a tackle, I don't know. It's going to be tough. Since he was a little bit higher, but I don't think they're going to be that high. Once again, this is a new class, so I do kind of want to scout more. Like Charles Cross, just inside the top 10 with a trade down would be massive. That'd be a huge W. So, there's that. Linderbaum, you could use a center. You could use pretty much anything here. We could use an edge rusher. Karlaftis is a decent option. Maybe trade down to 5, grab Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't know. It's a lot of question marks here. I kind of want Trayvon Walker. There's so many options. They're all good. Like I said, this is so much more fun than the other rebuilds I've been kind of doing. I haven't really done too much of the Raiders, but it's so much more fun. It's just unbelievable. There's just so much you need to do, and it's a real challenge. I don't even know why I'm, tagging players or favoriting them, with the Y button, because, I kind of like them all. All right, pick 1 should be Ekwonu. It's Aiden Hutchinson. Now, that's not completely impossible, but yeah, I would have preferred that to be where it was. Let's try to trade this down to 8 or 9 if we can. I just think Houston really should trade down. I just think you have so many needs. Why stay here? Of course, if we're trading this down, this needs to be a team that wants a tackle, and I think... there is a possibility that New York could get this team off their spot if they want to tackle, which they obviously desperately do. So I had to make Rex Burkhead a freak just to get the trade, but it is a fair one. It says that they're giving us 12 points higher, which is like a 6th-round pick. We gave them 3 for 6, 38, and then a 4th this year, and then obviously we're going to have to make Rex Burkhead suck. But this more than likely will be a lineman. I'd be so dumb if this isn't a lineman. Thank you. Thank you. That's what we wanted to see. Thibodeau would be my dream now. 1 pick away. The Panthers don't need him that much. Oh, that hurts. The Houston Texans with that pick would have would have just crushed themselves. But you could still use many players. Sauce Johnson. Sauce Gardner. Not a bad choice either. Wide receiver. Trade down again even. Lineman obviously is up there. But when you have a bad team in general, how much does that lineman even matter anyways? I think I might take Sauce Gardner. And then take the best available tackle left with pick 13. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? There's some good linemen here. I mean, I think, or you could wait for Stingley maybe. I'm not sure. This is a tough one, though. I really wanted Thibodeau, but I couldn't get him. I'm going to take him. Sauce is on the Houston Texans. A lockdown corner means a ton. He could be here for over a decade. Obviously, the lineman's sick, too, but you just need so much on this team. That second-round pick could add us our starting running back, could add us so many different things, and maybe even a trade-up back to grab Charles Cross here to the to the New York Jets. Maybe a third-round pick to get there. So we trade 14, which is supposed to be 13, 102 and 120 for 10, which means that we got 4 points of value off of them, but that's not, that's not terrible. And then with this pick, I assume we're going to take Charles. I mean, you could just lock up another, a pass rusher would be sick too. Linemen, I mean, there are linemen there. You still have Tunsil, I imagine, in real life. Do we just take Karlaftis? I mean, where's the Dallas Cowboys? They're going to be grabbing him soon, right? Or they would try to. They have a decently high pick, I thought, right? Or, I don't even know, but I kind of want him now. As a pass rusher is super important to get. I'm going to grab the pass rusher. Mr. George Karlaftis. Welcome to the squad, another hidden development trade player. I don't feel like you can really be too mad at the draft they've had here. Sauce maybe isn't as impactful as an offensive lineman, like a tackle, but once again, there are some decent linemen that could fall to like 26, 27, like Ryman, maybe. Is it Ryman? I don't even know. Stingley to the Vikings would be a dream for them. Bunch of cornerbacks. I'm thinking, if we suck a ton, we can grab one of the top 2 beasts next year. And obviously, Davis Mills will get another chance to try out Trayvon Walker. I didn't see all the other Eagles picks, but Trayvon Walker is a huge pick for them. Drake London to the Steelers, probably not really a super big fit. The Patriots, that would be a really good move for them. I feel like they'd utilize him well. The Raiders went QB. Oh my God, is every quarterback gone? Ajabo, I believe, tore his ACL, unfortunately, so we don't know, what's the situation there going forward. Dallas, we should have traded one above because Dallas absolutely would be trying to pick tackle here unless there's a lineman or a pass rusher still, which I don't think there is. I'm going to try to snag the pick off of them, though, if I can. Charles Cross is still there, but obviously that's not a name we can take. He just won't be there. Ryman would definitely be a guy I would love to grab. Devontae Wyatt wouldn't be terrible either. There's some really good names still here. The lineman is big, though. Johnson, I think, is a higher pick than that. Devin Lloyd could actually still be here in real life. It's kind of hard to tell. Linderbaum will be a top 20. I think we're going to try to go to the Titans because we were just one off of, grabbing what we wanted. And that's a pretty realistic pick, too. Obviously, you would expect him to go higher, but he is a center. You never know. I highly doubt it, but you never know. Tennessee, who does not have a fourth round or a second round this year, going to be trying to grab 2 fourths off of us next year. They can move those up to get another third this probably. With that trade up, we are going to be taking a tackle. Maybe not as talented as the tackle we could have had, but we added that extra pick. That is not who I would want him, but once again, that's just not a likely scenario. And Raymond, a guy that's probably be late first, early second, went up a little bit higher to grab him. We're going to take him. Hidden development trade, that's a win. Of course, this isn't real life, so in Madden, that's a huge win. We still got a hidden tackle. I would say Evan Neal is probably superstar, whereas this man right here isn't. Trey McBride of the Packers, not the worst, I suppose. You add in something there. I don't think we can trade up anymore. We've already kind of went up and down the board as much as kind of possible. With this pick, though, I'm kind of wanting to take running back if there's one there. Kenneth Walker would definitely be, assuming he is as fast as he probably should be, because I know he was a little surprising. He was, a little bit faster than people thought he was going to run. I think we're going to grab him. Kenneth Walker III. Welcome to the team. Hidden development trade. Pretty damn fast. 5'9", 211. Barry Sanders. Relax. I'm trying to think who could be there in the third round. We could still use a little bit of edge. O-line wouldn't hurt, though. Ed Ingram. Is he actually decent? I have no idea. He looks pretty good, I'll tell you that. Once again, I don't know if this class is too OP. I wouldn't be able to tell until after the fact, so that's a little unfortunate. Tight end wouldn't hurt, but it's not that big of a need. Wide receiver Jameson Williams, I suppose, is a guy that probably will fall due to the injury, but still a guy that has value, obviously. And I'm debating on maybe trading up for him here. I mean, he could. I'd say he's a late first, but he could fall because of the injury. I don't know, though. I'm not really a huge fan of trading up, considering I just don't. I think he'll be gone a little bit earlier than this, but not coming out with a decent wide receiver could be a huge L for this team. The Bears get Devin Lloyd. That's a huge steal, of course. Should be a first-round player, but ooh, maybe should have went there. Minnesota doesn't really need a wide receiver. The Ravens do. So I'm going to trade up, I think, with Minnesota to grab George Pickens, and that kind of concludes the draft. Once again, I don't feel like Houston's really in a situation to trade up as much as we have, but at the same time, we are landing starting caliber players. But also at the same time, I don't know if we actually have the ability. I think we're going to have to pass. I think we have to pass. We just don't have anything. We have nothing to give. We're going to go down. We have nothing to give, and there's still other players there, still other positions and whatnot, so going to let it happen. Sam Williams is there. That could be a decent pick. Quay Walker's still here. That's a little bit of a steal. It's kind of slower, though. George Pickens is still here, but obviously he would be gone by now. He's, higher than that by a lot. Brandon Smith is kind of like a later third-ish, super low in coverage. I mean, what do we do here? Maybe look for a lineman? John Mechie's here as well. He's semi-athletic. I mean, this team absolutely needs a wide receiver, but I don't know if I really see him as the guy. Christian Watson is obviously a super freak with the size. I'm going to take Christian Watson. Screw it. Hidden development trait. That's a little surprising. 95 speed, 96 excel. Might have to actually look into the class a little bit more just to make sure not everyone's hidden. And our next pick is in the 7th round. And we also dipped a little bit into next year. Obviously, we're still going to get an extra first-round pick and an extra first-round pick after that. But, yeah, I mean, we definitely made a lot of draft picks. We also made a lot of moves up the board. So I'm glad we definitely traded down as well. As far as the last selection, I mean, this team kind of needs a lot of everything. So I'm going to have to look a little bit closer just to make one final selection. I mean, it wouldn't even surprise me to see Kyle Hamilton taken at number 3 or if they trade down because they really need a safety too. But we're just going to grab someone athletic and hope for the best. And that's pretty athletic. Marquise Bell at 92 speed. I mean, honestly, if he's even like a 65 overall, he may start. That's how desperate we are. Let's take a look at the overalls of the players we grabbed. Obviously, we did land a lot of starters. But we also did still leave off a lot of players that we needed to grab. So, I mean, I'm a little iffy on what we did. But Sauce Gardner, 76 overall, 74 for Karlaftis, 70 for Ryman, 73 for Walker, 69 for Watson. And then this safety, 66 overall, like I said. And he's pretty young, 22 years old. May have a chance to start, which is crazy. Don't care too much about the devs. Gardner's probably like a superstar. Karlaftis could be a superstar. I'd say star here, star here, star here. I'm going to quickly look at some of the overalls. I just want to, make sure they're not too crazy. Let's quickly glance at the round 2. Let's pick a random guy out of here. Kyra Gordon is hidden development trait. Logan Hall, I mean, if that guy would have been hidden. Daxton Hill should be, and he's not. Tyler Smith, normal. Okay, so, I mean, just choosing some of those random positions. Daniel Falele, of course, everyone has him as a hidden development trait. Some of these guys are normal when they shouldn't, when maybe they shouldn't be. Oh my god, even he's hidden. Normal there. I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much for myself, but there are a lot of hiddens. But I will say in the Madden drafts, there's a lot of hiddens too, so I don't know. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, I guess, but definitely going to be using another real-life class for the next season, as there is a good chance that this team is in the running for one of the quarterbacks. The squad for year one is still pretty iffy, I will admit. However, we do have some blue. Blue is good. I don't know what the devs are for all these players. Like I said, we might have gotten one guaranteed superstar or better at cornerback, and everything else may be questionable. Karlaftis, hopefully, is also a superstar. So, but, you know, we added some players that are decent. Greenard is actually a really good sim defensive end for some reason, so maybe you can develop. Garner's probably going to be the number one corner next season. Bell, like I said, this group of safeties is so weak that, I mean, he's the starter. He's got potential. He's not even much worse in coverage, you know, zone coverage and whatnot, so going to give him a chance. Super athletic. Cashman's our best linebacker. I mean, this isn't a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, maybe not even a 5 year rebuild, but we'll see how long it takes to at least get to the playoffs, maybe the Super Bowl, and I suppose we'll just rock Houston's playbook for now and kind of see what happens. That's kind of the whole point, even though it's a different coach now. Bruh, we could literally go 2-15, but we just beat the Raiders and the Cowboys to start this one out. How? It's the Texans playbooks. I don't even know. I don't know. How? This is just unrealistic. Like, hey? Bro, even in this one, we only lost by 3 to the Chiefs. What? Lovie Smith's the GOAT. And of course, here we are now on a mad losing streak. I mean, it could still land a good player, obviously. We're hoping that's the case. Brandon Cooks at 28 years old, man. He really is that guy, though. Like, he's been so good for, like, every team he plays for, and he's on par for a superstar dev up season. I think it's time for the man to get paid, and we have all the money in the world to do it. So a 4-year, $69 million deal for the 28-year-old Desmond King. We really don't have much better going on, and he could convert to safety for us. So 3-year, $30 is a huge win for us. Jimmy Moreland will be let go. Do I really want to attempt the name? Okoronkwo. I don't know. It's Okoronkwo. Either way, he's not going to stay on the team. All right, he's not a bad backup, but we don't really need him. Even we have standards. They're very small, but even we have standards. Of course, a fresh free agency could be just what we're looking for with the money that we have. So obviously, going to try to save as much for players that we know we can improve upon. All right, heads to the playoffs. We're looking pretty bad. End up at 5-12. I would like to be a little bit worse, I suppose. Let's just get it out of the way and take a look at the situation here. And still really? The Eagles were gunning for it with 4 losses in a row. A couple of teams with some wins in a row. Wow, that is shocking. We lost 2 at the end. We actually had a bit of a win streak there. Well, maybe not a win streak, but we won a game recently enough. We almost cucked ourselves out of the top pick, but we didn't. We have the number 1 overall pick, and it appears Bryce Young is going to be our guy. Although Davis Mills, wow, Kenneth Walker was awful. 2.8 yards per carry is the worst I've ever seen. Watson is actually decent. Maybe dev up. Cooks, better dev up. Brevin could be replaced. O-line was actually not terrible, all things considered. Karlaftis, my guy. Greener, dude, he's always so good in sim. I believe in him every time. Sauce Gardner, okay, I mean, it kind of seemed like we made the right call in the draft. Or right calls, if you will. Maybe some Rookie of the Year awards specifically on defense. Yeah, I was about to say defense, but offense, really? I mean, I know he had a lot of touchdowns, but he was kind of trash, right? I mean, we can't really deny that, but we should have some dev ups. I mean, Gardner was actually the number 1 DB in general as the number 2 guy for the entire league, let alone, well, at least corner or DB, let alone, rookie. Super Bowl between the Jags and the Cardinals, which is a very interesting one, let me tell you. And the Cardinals win, of course. At least it's a more realistic team winning. The Jags do have some talent, but they're not Super Bowl contenders. Davis Mills, I forgot to put the XP up. That is a massive L. I completely forgot to do that. Well, to counteract that, we're probably going to put everything up about 15% we normally would, because, that'll happen. I will say, Davis Mills didn't dev up anyways, so we're going to replace him regardless. So, these numbers are going to be a little higher than normal. I will say, even though it wasn't intended, it kind of is like cheating almost, because obviously we're really far behind the rest of the league. So losing a season with a bunch of like backups we don't care about, you know, I mean, they're starters, but backup level talents that we don't really care about. Losing a season of XP with them actually kind of helps us catch up. That wasn't the intention, but, you know, I suppose when life gives you lemons, wear a helmet, because I clearly need one. That was awful. I will say, though, once again, you know, it kind of helps us, but at the same time, we did have some youngsters that aren't going to dev up now because of that, which is just great. Cooks took a huge L because of that, too, because he, for one, I don't even know how he, like, lost so many overalls. Like, he just, like, turned into slush. But we're going to up him a little bit because a little unfair. I know some of the other players around the league may have also gotten that happen, but Cooks at least deserves it. He was basically the best wide receiver in the entire league, and obviously dev'd up. I don't even know if he lost speed or anything like that, but I just gave it to him. I really don't care. People cry all they want. That's pretty good. 86 overall. I think he was 87, 88. Probably would have been an 88, 89 right now, so I'm not going to be too mad with that. Christian Watson, man, we're a little behind now, but like I said, in a way, it did help us, so we're not going to complain. I want to take a look at some of the devs. I don't know what, you know, kind of overall, yeah, so Kenneth Walker started as a superstar in this class. I got to change that number. That's disgusting. Of course, Watson, we actually didn't even see the defense. We kind of, like, skipped. So let's take a look at the dev-ups, if we had any. Offensively, like I said, Cooks, obviously a dev-up. Murray was started at superstar, apparently. Watson will be the number 2 going forward. Defense, Cashman goes up to a superstar. Not that it probably matters. Once again, we sold, so he didn't really get to overall or to upgrade his overall. Karlaftis, I think, actually was star and then just dev'd up here. And yeah, he did. Okay, we were correct about that. None for Mr. King. Garner, I don't know, but he probably would have been superstar. No, he was an X Factor, which, I mean, fair enough. I mean, it was a good decision for us to draft him, without a doubt, but yeah, those overalls are going to be a little low. Greener didn't go up in dev, which really sucks. So, yeah, I mean, it helps us, but it also hurts us a little bit. The league's going to be falling behind a little bit, but that's all right, as we are now going to head on to free agency, pretty much. I mean, the re-signings, we got all the re-signings he wanted out, and yeah, we have to make some big name splashes. I would say interior would help. A DT would be great. That is the number 1 position I want to grab as a DT. It would help to add another corner maybe, definitely a safety, and perhaps a linebacker. But really, we're going to do whatever we can to not overpay. Once again, I'm going to probably factor in that, you know, 5-10% extra to get free agents to come here. Denzel Ward. I don't know if that's a guy that they're going to not be able to afford or not, but that's interesting. I'm going to take a look at their cap room, and if they can't afford him, which, I mean, he's here. If they can't afford him, I'm going to go for him. Screw it. The Browns paid a lot for Deshaun Watson. You know, he's not, you know, a free player. So at the end of the day, if they can't afford him because of that, 23 mil cap space, that doesn't count the rookie reserve, doesn't count the pen, so that'd be 19 mil. I don't know about their rookie reserve, maybe 5 to 6. Ward would probably be looking for something around 20. They have to pay Cooper. I'm going to say this is a fair shake that that he is a free agent, and I'm going to go for Denzel Ward. I think Denzel Ward in the free market's at least 20 plus, so I'm going to offer him that. I'll offer a 4-year deal worth $85 million. And that makes our cornerback group very strong. I think it's fair. I think it's personally fair. You could see that they weren't going to be able to pay him 20 plus, and that's easily what he's worth here, considering he's a 90 overall. Elton Jenkins, I think we've proven many times before that. I guess I'll take a look, because, I mean, he's a really big importance for this team, but I think we've proven it a couple of times, specifically without Devontae Adams, now that Green Bay can afford him, and for some reason they just choose not to. And, oh, why the penalty? Is it the Devontae Adams play? I don't know why, though. He would have been gone already. 22 mil, so they actually can afford him. What's the situation? So David Bakhtiari, oh, they had to pay Rashawn Gary. That's a lot of money. Jair, they paid. Aaron Jones, I think, is still on that contract. Amos, they look like they just paid. They pay Lazard and MVS. Devondre is not even on the contract. He should be worth even more. All right, Elton Jenkins in this scenario. Previous ones, Rodgers, I think, is usually gone, or I don't know if he's gone, but they usually have money, and they just choose not to sign him. They actually can't afford him. So once again, another realism move. We're going to be offering Elgton Jenkins some good money. We offered a 4-year, near $60 million deal. Even then, that probably is a little on the lower side. Could use a wide receiver. We don't need one that badly, though. It'd be nice to, once again, keep trying to sign younger guys, which I think right now we're doing a pretty good job of. What else do we have? Savage would be a really good player. Once again, they look like they can't afford him. Patriots really want him. A 4-year 32 would be great. We still have 100+ mil. A 4-year 32 is all good money in my opinion. Could use Sean Murphy, but we got Denzel Ward most likely coming to us. Actually, I got to pay attention to that. I want to make sure he joins us as well. And it's not just about realism. It's also about him just joining us in-game, you know. It doesn't matter realism if the AI is willing to pay $1 billion for him, which, I mean, I'm willing to pay a lot to get him here. The strong safety we didn't re-sign, but Bell could still be the guy. We could find someone else in free agents or in the drafts, but I would like to guarantee myself, like, you know, maybe like Poyer, Jordan Poyer. I mean, at this point in his career, probably would be looking for a team that's actually going to win, but, you know, a little bit more money never hurts, I suppose. 2-year deal. He's not really... I don't know, like, it's weird because we're not ready to win now, but at the same time, none of the safeties are really here are that young, so what are you supposed to do, you know? Desperately need a linebacker, though. We cannot go into the draft needing 2 starting linebackers. We got to do something. Like I said, I really wanted a DT more than pretty much anything, but we're just not seeing that here. Greenard, I think, might be just like a career player for us. I really like him in Sim. He's just so good. I mean, I think DT is going to be one of our high draft picks players or positions, if you will. Nate Davis wouldn't be terrible either. He's kind of expensive-ish. O-line is definitely a positional need here. Irv Smith, Brevin Jordan's pretty similar, I suppose. Hardman is a guy that could be let go, but once again, I don't think we need him. So I'm going to go for Nate Davis. I'm going to give him like a 2-year 20. I'm going to give him a 3-year something. And it's so hard not to pay Kareem Hunt because he literally is a guy that needs a starting job. Like, he needs to be a starter again in the league. But we can't, dude. We got Kenneth Walker, man. He's a superstar. Quarterbacks, I think if you're looking to draft quarterback, Davis Mills is a good backup. So, yeah, we're going to let that happen. And we're going to see. I mean, we've probably spent about half of our free cap, which even then is not enough. Because, once again, you have all this money. You really don't want to sit around with too much of it. And we lose Elgton Jenkins. I offered him like a 4-year 60. Wow, okay, we got a lot of the other guys. We didn't get Bobby Okereke. I offered him pretty high money too, but we got new safeties. We got a new guard. We got a new corner. So our DBs are very talented, but losing Elgton Jenkins to free agency is a massive, massive L. Without a doubt, it is just like a huge L that, honestly, I can't really get over. I mean, that's just a huge... disastrous L. We should have offered even more, I suppose. So I probably should have looked at whatever our pick from Cleveland was like, but I suppose we're just going to assume there's some chances here for DTs. What about Dexter? I don't really want a DT that high, but this guy, his bench press sucks, dude. His strength is terrible. This guy looks good, but he's kind of not really built for the scheme, right? He doesn't really have that athleticism. All right, another free agency week. I think we added a couple of guys to the list. We added Connor Williams, which is a pretty decent signing. Alec Ingold, I will admit, I think is signed somewhere else in real life, but I thought it was only a 2-year deal. And then Denzel Perriman, I don't remember how long-term that was, but these guys being in free agency could be releases as well, specifically a guy like Perriman. He's at 30 now. But for us, who are in such a hole, trying to dig out of that hole, that is a huge win, obviously, so we'll take that. There's some interesting names here. Obviously, Bryce Young's probably the guy we're going to take, but there's some other guys that are decently good, and I don't know what our other draft pick is. Where's the other DT? Oh, no, I'm not going to have him. His name was like Tim something. He was the #1 guy I had for DT, and... I guess we'll put on the safety, because once again, Poyer's not a super long-term option, but he's good enough for now. But let's go to the draft, and let's start it. I mean, 80 mil left to work with. We do have a little bit of draft pieces, so 15, 20 mil might be going to rookies, so 55, 60 mil left over. I don't really have anyone to re-sign probably, but, you know, well, actually maybe Tunsil, but he'll actually be cheaper. It'll be less of a hit. But overall, you know, if we would have gotten Elgton Jenkins, it would have been a really, really good free agency period. Wasn't bad by any means, but it was still, you know, a little lackluster because of that. I really wanted my man's 26 in the Browns, which is unfortunate, but, you know, that's kind of what we expected. I really wanted Elgton Jenkins, but Bryce Young, the guy that everyone keeps saying is the guy, QB1. I know Stroud is up there too, but Bryce Young, I believe, is the #1 guy that people keep saying. So I really don't think it's going to matter who you choose between the two, but we're going to go Bryce Young as our option. Hidden development trait, could be a superstar, could even be an X factor. 91 throw power, pretty athletic. I don't know if he's actually 6 foot tall, 195, but that is pretty short, I must admit. But hey, it's, you know, it's not about the height of the soldier. It's about his combat in the field. I don't know. Malachi Moore, I know that name. That's a good corner they got there, themselves there. There's a couple of teams after Tampa that needs DT, so I'm actually going to try to trade up to 19, assuming Tim is still there. I probably should have checked before I, you know, moved ahead with this, but it is what it is. We don't have that many draft picks going forward. I don't know if we need to go this high with the, you know, a trade. Actually, pick 67 really isn't that crazy when you think about we're moving up 7 spots in the first round. I think DT is one of the biggest needs. There was literally nothing but Akeem Hicks in free agency, so we're going to go with one of the DTs. I think there was 2 guys there, so whoever's best available, I suppose. DT Tim Smith. I mean, it's really the only choice. He looks good. It's just, once again, not. I mean, he looks good in the sense that he's super strong and he's got an A tackle. I actually don't know a whole lot about him. I thought I put him on my scout, but I mean, I suppose I have no choice. I'm just hoping for hidden, and he is hidden. 92 strength, very unathletic, if you will. 310, 6'4" is good, but he is very, not super athletic, but as far as DTs go, I mean, that was the best option. Actually, this guy was still there. He's not really a DT, but he definitely could have played that, and he is a little bit on the weaker side. I really hope his dev isn't hidden. However, I suppose if he is there in the second round, we could actually go with him as well. I mean, we need multiple things, so I might actually look to trade up again. I'm going to keep going until him or the center is gone, and hopefully we see none of them gone. Hopefully they're both there, and if that's the case, I don't know who the hell I'm going to choose, but at least we'll have an option without having to trade up. We'll see, though. And we're going to have a choice of one of them, and it's not the center. I will say center is a pretty big positional need, but once again, DT is a huge need. So we're going to be taking Ibojijebe. Oh, my Lord, I'm going to have to figure it out. Boygby, which, I mean, Boygby hidden. Yeah, I said it. Justin Boygby, hidden development trait. 84 strength, 81 speed, 83 acceleration. I'm going to be putting him at number 2 DT, which is, I mean, maybe a lot to ask for, but, I mean, we really don't have a spot for him on the edge right now. I'm trying to make sure that we aren't going to be skipping on anyone. We could use a linebacker. I think there is one. Sewell, I think I've seen him before. He is pretty good. Zone coverage is really tough to pass on. We have no other linebackers here, and we really need one. The tight ends look great as well. Eric Gilbert's still here, really? Catching, 5'6". 4'5'6". Yep, 5'6'5". This is a bit of a, I would say, a risk by Miami, but we are probably looking to still be a pretty bad team. So we're going to give them a second round next year and 131 this. I'd say maybe we should have given them the 4th instead, but it is what it is. And I think with this selection, we're going to be taking Sewell. I think that's, if he's still there, he is. Noah Sewell, zone coverage, pretty damn athletic. Hidden development trait, 85 speed, just fast enough. I think I have seen him in one of our recent rebuilds, but fair enough, you know. It's no other repeats so far. Ooh, Demas. I didn't have him on my list, but I seen that he was decently athletic. Now, with this pick, we could really use a tight end, but we could also use a lineman. Osiris Torrance is insanely strong, 43 bench press reps, and I have to admit, even with some of these like Fs and whatnot, if I was making a class and I knew a guy was that strong and I put him that strong in the game, I'd probably make him hidden. So maybe I'm using a little bit too much logic. I will say the tight end position is a huge need as well. However, I don't really have a whole lot on this guy. B truck, B spec, A impact, B awareness. but he's super athletic, and that's kind of what we're missing on this team. I know we have Cooks and Watson, but we're kind of missing that tight end athleticism as well. That's how you get a team with lesser talent to win games, is just being a mismatch across the board. And I think I'm going to go with Greg here. I'm going to risk it. And he's also hidden. And he's a little slower than I had thought, to be honest. And I think we're going to go and maybe look to trade up one final time if we even have the resources. Maybe one of the guards. And not even maybe. Definitely one of the guards. That's literally the only reason I'd trade up at this point. But yeah, no 4th round picks. We have a 5th, so maybe we can turn that 5th and something else into it. I really don't want to give up my 3rd next year, but I think we are actually owed a 3rd round pick on top of one more 1st round from Cleveland, obviously. We're going to wait for one of the guards to go and then try to snag the other. As right now, it's looking pretty good for us. Keep on falling, boys. Keep on falling. So we're going to give him a 5th this, a 4th next, and Nico Collins for pick 88. Nico Collins isn't a terrible player who's drafted decently high, if you will. And the Bills could use a big body guy like him, I suppose. We're going to be taking the guard, Osiris Torrance, to potentially play, well, guard. Try to move someone around to center if we can. But Osiris Torrance, welcome to the team. And he's hidden, I told you, 97 strength. Once again, lacking in athleticism. A lot of the guys we've been taking lately kind of are, but killed it. Absolutely killed it yet again. And once again, one more year of 2 draft picks. Houston really tried to make this a very interesting rebuild. I'll tell you that. They really tried to with winning those games early on, but obviously took a bit of a loss streak and ultimately, thankfully, got us our franchise quarterback. I got to imagine in real life, I'm glad too, because in real life, that's probably where the Houston Texans are headed, right? I can't imagine they're going to, win more than a couple of games. Will Reichard is going to be our kicker prospect. 99 kick power. I seen elite kick power. I saw B accuracy. I was like, you know what? He's probably good enough to at least sit as the backup for now for Fairburn, who's getting older. I'd imagine that's, a guy that is going to go higher than he did for us there, because if you had 99 kick power, decent accuracy, you're probably going to make it in the NFL. But here we are with Bryce Young, the starting quarterback of this team. Looks pretty damn solid. Obviously, let's take a look at that development trait because he's the automatic starter. I'm sorry, Davis Mills. He didn't look terrible considering the talent around, but you get 1st pick overall. I mean, what are you supposed to do? We're superstar development trait, which is great. Tim Smith, probably doesn't matter too much what these devs are, as they're starting no matter what. But yeah, let's see. Another starting rookie. Tim Smith, star development trait. Kind of expected it. This guy could actually be hit superstar better. Kind of feels that way with the versatility that he has. Going to put him directly at DT, though, real quick. Oops. Kind of skipped over to contract. Star development trait. Fair enough. Could actually probably play left out even. He's kind of bigger. Sewell, I think, is star. I don't know if the tight end star or not. I don't really care too much. And then the guard, 76 overall kicker. And the guard is, of course, going to play wherever it makes the most sense. And Will Reichard might actually be the starter. I'm just going to be honest. As much as Fairburn actually isn't that bad, he was bad for us in this realm. And obviously, you can't say, oh, you just release Fairburn for a rookie. This is a rookie that would have been killing it in camp, right? That's what you have to compare it to, because obviously if you're that good at kick power, you're better accuracy than Fairburn. That's basically what you would see in camp. Cornerbacks, sheesh, we're lacking on the depth, but Garner will obviously be the number 2, with King being more of a slot guy anyways, size and speed-wise, going to be playing that spot. Sewell will be the left out, and, we'll get into it. Don't worry about it. All right, the new and improved roster. It really is, too. We've got some low overalls for the time being, but we've got some color here. Some silver and some blue and some yellow. And Connor, we don't talk about you, all right? We moved Nate inside. I'm not sure if he played center at some point in his career, but he's not super athletic. And, of course, he is 6'3", so, I figured maybe not the worst call. I'm not sure if this man is superstar, X Factor, probably star, but has the most potential. So he's going to start at tight end. Defensively, definitely need a new middle linebacker, probably a new outside, could use a safety. But outside of that, we're actually looking really talented. Denzel Ward was the huge free agent piece for us. Obviously, I would have loved to add Elton Jenkins, but we still added Nate Davis. We still added Darnell Savage. We added a fullback. And then once again, we had a very solid draft. So I think it might be Tunsil. I don't know if we have anyone else. Greenard, I am in love with at a more than friend level. So a 4-year 25 is not terrible. We'll see if he plays better. We might have to restructure him to make him even higher paid. Tunsil, I think at this point would probably want like a 4-year 90 or 80, whatever, 90. Come back to me. Come back to me. Where's 90? We're almost there. There we go. No higher. Boom. 4-year 90. 22 per. On a team like this, that might even be a steal if you really think about it. This was a bit of a disappointment. However, I will say, which makes no sense, Cleveland was like 6 wins. So, just to prove how random Sim is, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Alan Lazard, number 2 in the league for, what is it called? For yards and all that, which is crazy. The Browns, like I said, I mean, I don't know what it is, but 2 top 10 picks, it looks like, perhaps here. The second-round pick we traded to grab, I think it was Sewell, the linebacker, is obviously a pretty decent pick. Bryce Young with some pretty good yards. Touchdowns were kind of bad, though. Picks were bad. Davis Mills played better than that. Kenneth Walker, better, but still not great for rushing numbers. Watson was pretty good. Cooks was good. Ray McLeod was our number 3. Deluch is his Dulcich. 675, 5 touchdowns. Better than Brevin, and of course it was his first year as far as offensive line goes. Raymond is just not really that good. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, still got to develop. Greenard, I think we will have to adjust that contract to a 4-year 45 probably. Reichard, I mean, about the same as, Fairburn in fairness. But, yeah, let's edit his contract because he's just so good in Sim, dude. I don't know what it is. He is that guy in Sim. I just don't know what to tell you. But I did change the scheme mid-season, and it didn't really seem to change too much. We changed to the Dallas scheme, and it just didn't really work out. I was like, you know what, maybe Kenneth can be that guy, but apparently not. I mean, he played better, but it wasn't significant enough. The Lions. Okay. And they almost won. Wow, that's... To be fair, were they number 2? Did they have Stroud? In fairness, if they did, then I guess that does change a lot, even though it didn't for us, unfortunately. But let's take a look at potential dev-ups. There were none, in case you were wondering. I suppose let's take a look at the defense. And we had 2. Greenard, who is now a superstar, even though he's only a 78 overall, which absolutely pains me to my core. And then Sewell apparently was a superstar to start because here he is as an X Factor. I don't feel like he had that good of a season, but apparently he did. You could see there. Okay, I mean, we got a couple of pretty sick players now, I'll tell you that. As Garner, please go back to your number 2 spot. Of course, the morale's down for a lot of players. Is we definitely let ourselves down. I mean, I definitely felt like we were a better team than we let on, but I guess not. Of course, Bryce Young is already quite talented. Think quarterback. I know we missed by a year. Actually, no, I think we can probably drop everything back down to normal, except probably, kind of evened out, right? Let's take a look at Raymond, even though he was pretty bad. 77 overall, I think, is fair enough. So I think we're going to drop everything about 15 to 20. So then, we should be kind of back on par. But we are an 81 overall now. We're not losing anyone. We have money to sign players. So we're in a good spot, right? We probably have about 80 mil. Yeah, about 80 mil to work with. And once again, negotiations, we've gotten all the players we need. Realistically, all these guys are backups. It'd be nice to actually get some real depth as well. I think a real starting strong safety should be in the books, as Poyer, I mean, maybe even retired. I highly doubt it, but he was like 32, 33 or something like that when we signed him. Still a lot better than what we had going for ourselves, but still, yeah, wow, that's a bit of a drop-off. He dropped off quite a bit. I mean, that is something. Let's see how good he is, though. His speed's really low, but he is 79 zones. I mean, he's just good enough to stick around if we have no better options. We need a new linebacker or two. Once again, we're desperate. So signing 2-year deals for guys that really only had one at best in the tank is kind of the thing you had to do, right? But it doesn't mean we can't use those guys as backups. Like I said, I kind of wanted depth. Those guys are depth. If we can get a safety, get a linebacker, I mean, we're in a good spot regardless. We don't really need the tackle, unfortunately. Corner don't really need. We don't need the DTs anymore, even though our DTs really didn't develop. Herbert's a free agent, so that makes sense. Crazy to think that we're in a spot where we don't need any of those guys that we just passed up. Hassan Reddick would be decent, but a 3-37 for a guy that's not even a starter. I suppose Sewell could go. I mean, he's kind of like a dual threat type of player. Like, I don't know what his coverage ratings are, but probably decent enough. More of a pass rusher type, I suppose. Quandre Diggs. I mean, this is a kind of a weak free agency period, but ooh, Julian. I think Julian Blackman here is going to be our starting strong safety. Or Darnell Savage, whoever, really. A.J. Dillon, I'm really thinking about it, because honestly, Walker really has not been that guy for us. Oh, Queen! Patrick Queen! This would be a risky one in real life, but in-game, I think a 5-year 62 is well worth it for us as we're out in front. 60 mil to work with. I will say once again, we probably won't have to pay a quarterback for this entire rebuild, as I'd imagine year 4 or 5 we should be good. You know, year 4 or 5 total, not for Bryce. We should be good. Andrew Thomas, don't really need him anymore. It's crazy to think we actually have a lot of our positions solved. It's actually quite awesome. But there are some pretty good young linemen here, but once again, don't really need them. So, yeah, we offered Blackman, we offered Queen. Those are kind of the two positions we needed the most. Wide receiver is another one of them, but I don't think there was anyone there. I'm trying to think anyone else. Corner, not really. D-line is set. I mean, if there was a sick edge rusher, even though I love Greenard, even though he's a lower overall, but that's just not the case. So, I mean, if we get the guys we're offering here, I mean, I'm pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm definitely pretty stoked, right? DT, once again, could use them, but our DTs we're going to hope develop. And yeah, I mean, unless there's a wide receiver, which there really isn't, let's move on. Should get both of the guys. I mean, we offered a ton of money. If Patrick Queen doesn't sign, that would be very devastating, but we'll see. He does. So does Blackman, the new starting strong safety. Queen, once again, a little bit of an overpayment, but super young, not easy to get those types of players. So glad he's joining onto the squad. And honestly, like, what position do we really need? Like, we've done pretty well. I mean, a center could help. Safeties are set, I feel. DT. I mean, I think the team is set. It's just, can they develop? That's the question. We actually turn this team around with youth very quickly. The difference is, though, the thing is, if you're watching this rebuild, you're like, wow, this was a lot quicker than I expected. You do have to factor in that devs in Madden don't equal the same as real life, right? Like, a star dev Watson in-game is, like, set, where in real life, that doesn't exist, right? Even the best guys can, have a sick year 1 and then just fall off completely. But, we have regression turned off for devs because there's a lot of bad dev regression in the game. A lot of them you'll see where a guy goes up in dev and then drops in dev. It's just not a feature that works. So at best, we can manually drop devs, but that would be only ours because obviously it would just take way too long across the board. But as far as what we need to go for, I think you'd still look to grab a wide receiver. Even though Cooks is a good overall, if you grabbed a sick wide receiver, maybe put him in the slot and dominate even more, at least for a win standpoint, rather than his specific stat line. But, left guard, perhaps. I mean, Connor Williams, I think, was only a 2-year, like 15, maybe 16. Definitely wide receiver, for sure. Running back is still on the board, though. Outside linebacker, we could still use one more. And then maybe safety because, we got Blackman, but these guys are cheap deals, so they're not going to really develop too much. They're going to be slightly above average, nothing crazy. Yeah, we're in a very interesting predicament where we just don't technically know what to draft. I mean, at this point, we have all the guys we want. We just got to develop them. I suppose we'll look at some of these other players like Hardeman for sure. The corner is pretty set, so if we actually wanted him, I don't know if we really need to scout him, to be honest. And then I think Winkler, we'll go with Daryl Kelly. Kelly was looking pretty weak. We're going to go with, we know if we get Billy Webster here, we actually know his rank projection as well. I'm thinking Edmonds, the wide receiver, 6'4", looking pretty strong and beastly, might be our choice. It's iffy, But, I mean, it says his round's decent, so I got to imagine he's at least in the 70s. Maybe hidden. But realistically, like, left guard, outside linebacker, and wide receiver are our biggest needs. And even then, only really just the outside linebacker is a must grab. And even then, you can argue that you don't even need him this season. But I have been looking at edge rusher because Greenard, even though he is good, and we did just pay him, is on the lower overall side. So if he were to suck one of these years, we kind of want to have an option. But pick 6, I don't honestly think we have someone this high. And once again, pick 9 because both picks are top 10. I mean, this team, once again, is a lower overall, but it's a team that is kind of set. Jelani Price might be a guy you can't pass up on, though. Like, can you just trade down? This guy has an A-man coverage, and he's insanely fast. I think you really don't have much of a choice but to grab him. And I'm going to. Jelani Price, hidden development trait, really fast. I mean, giving me Jair Alexander vibes here. Pick 9, I think, will be a trade down, though. I think we're going to trade this pick down to, like, 20. And use those 2 to grab 2 starting caliber players on top of it. And call it there, really. There is still 2 quarterbacks here, so I can definitely make the argument that if we grab a trade down, that it would be worth it for whoever is trading up to give nearly 2 first rounds, if not 2 first rounds straight up. We got a little bit more information on this guy. He's not crazy good, but, I mean, considering it looks almost like Cashman, but he's many years younger, I think I'm still willing to go for him. So, not actually that. I mean, we got a good corner, it appears. Not that we really needed him, but not actually that deep for us in this class in general. But we're going to make this play from 9 to try and go down to like 22, 23. And hopefully whatever team is there has multiple firsts. I doubt it since we have multiple firsts. The AI most likely won't have any. All right, we finally got the deal. But pick 9, Roy Lopez, and a 4th round pick this year for 22 next. Or 22 this, 21 next, which, of course, we will be using 21 next to make a trade-up. The bigger of the 2 needs is Hardeman, but Ben Edmonds looks like a bit better of a talent. You have an A catch in traffic. C for the other stuff, which you can live with. It was a pretty decent wide receiver group. I think it was like 6 first-round projected guys. And Ben Edmonds, I mean, I don't like the 3-cone or the 20-yard, but everything else looks amazing. Insane vertical, insane broad, very strong, 4.4, 4.40. I mean, worth the try, I think. Hidden development trait, and if you're going to have your speed and whatnot into something, or your 40 time and all that into something, you want it to be speed, and then excel, and then agility in that order. Very good jump ball go and get it guy. He's like a poor man's Metcalf, not quite as fast, but kind of built in that kind of sense. And with this pick, if we can get to Washington, I would love to. I'd really need a lineman. I mean, I don't need one, but it would be nice to have one. So let's go to Washington. Maybe give them a quarterback. First round next year with Davis Mills wouldn't be the worst. Huntley's their guy, so yeah, I mean, I actually really like Davis Mills, and I was going to use him, but at the end of the day, what can you do when you get the first pick overall in a very strong quarterback class? Davis Mills and pick 21 next year for 23. I think that's fair. And, Davis Mills is probably like a late third round projected guy, because he actually was pretty good for us, just once again, the circumstances forced our hand. And then with this one, we are going to be going with, I believe, the linebacker, right? We have this guy as well a little bit later, but don't know a whole lot. The C Pursuit, pretty athletic, actually. Maybe we do wait. Get to like the start of the 3rd or late 3rd. Kelly's not great, though. So, like, you're kind of going for one of the centers anyways. Maybe we didn't need to trade up as high as we did. Unfortunately, it's a bit too late for that. There's a lot of centers here as well that are good, and obviously we could just move Nate Davis back to guard, and we wouldn't even be cheating technically. We wouldn't be grabbing a center just to play a guard or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of talent. I think we're just going to grab the linebacker and just trade up for one of the centers, to be honest. Wait for Fowler or Max Moore to go, and then grab the other of the 2. Corey Hardeman, welcome to the team. Oh, that sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Normal development trait. Drafted enough hiddens as is. Really not, but, All right, the Buccaneers need tight end. Brevin Jordan was he a 3rd-round tight end, I believe? High 3rd-round tight end, if I'm not mistaken. 65 next and 166 this year for the trade, and they will take it. This will be, I believe, Fowler was the last one left. Yeah, he was. Winkler went very high. Then there goes Max Moore, and then here comes Fowler with us. So let's see what we get. Mr. Brian Fowler, of course, looks pretty damn good himself. Grabbing him. In development trade, a little bit lower on the strength. Gonna be honest, I didn't look at any of their, like, I think the Winkler guy was pretty good. Everyone else, I didn't really pay attention. I just kind of looked at their skills, and they look like those prototypical great players. I will say Cody McClellan is still there. Wow, Billy Webster is still there. He's very athletic, F and an F, but surprised to still see him here. I know he could go literally any pick now, but that is surprising. Start of the fourth, if our linebacker is still there, I am going to trade up for him. If not, we're going to just be happy with what we got. Trading up like a madman again. 97 next, and a 5th this, high 5th this for 97 this. And with that pick, we're going to be taking Cody McClellan, who is, of course, he's hidden. Of course. Did he not have a 40 time of a 4.42? Am I missing something? Huh? I swear it was a 4.42. But he's hidden, but that's kind of lucky then, because I expect him to be fast. But sure, I mean, it worked out. We're going to go with a power back, a little bit slower, but 7th round pick. And he's hidden. What are the chances, dude? He's actually hidden, dude. Oh, my. We are what we are. Let's take a look at our draft class, which, once again, it was pretty good. The overall is 80 overall for Jelani Price. What the hell? He's the automatic number 3. Desmond King is basically a backup at this point. What is this? Superstar. Now I really wish we would have went with freaking Kyle Hamilton or a lineman. Ben Edmonds, I don't know what his dev is going to be, but he, I suppose, kind of has to be the number 2 or 3, right? I mean, hidden development trait. We don't have anyone else on the roster at wide receiver, so number 2 or 3. Star development trait, we take that. Wish it would have been superstar, but still, Hardeman obviously was not hidden, but still pretty talented. I'll debate on who to start between him and the other linebacker, so I won't take a look at his dev, but I will look at his ratings because that's not cheating, obviously, because, I mean, his ratings are literally shown without having to go into it. The center, 71 overall, 6'4", a bit more athletic, so I probably will, even though he's not super strong, will play him at left guard, and he'll be the starter next season when our guard is gone, of course. The running back, he is a 66 overall, which is interesting to say the least. Good trucking and all that. He'll be the backup running back to Mr. Kenneth Walker, which, hey, we needed a running back backup. Ours kind of suck. This guy's a little bit of a win, even though he's going to be just star development trait, but still, it's better than not star, and there he goes. And I suppose that's pretty much it. I'll take a look at McClellan, but still not going to look at anything else. Definitely a good player, though. I mean, he might start. I don't know. I can't tell. He's hidden, but the other guy was a higher draft pick, and yeah, I don't think he's going to start no matter what, so I'm going to change his number and look at his dev for the hell of it. It is star, as expected, but Brian Cushing's number, he's going to play right out, but backup right out to Hardeman. At the end of the day, it's not that hard to get a star dev up, and he is a bit more athletic, got to admit that, and yeah, I don't think there was anyone we really missed on. I guess we'll take a look at Winkler and the other center. Not that it really matters too much. Winkler also hidden. Could have been superstar. I don't really care. Wow, that's a big fella at center. And then the other guy, Max Moore, also hidden as expected, but a little bit stronger. That's pretty much all I really needed to know. I mean, there wasn't much else to see. We drafted a sick corner that we didn't need, and that's really the history of it. So we trade Blake Cashman, Desmond King, and a 5th next year for Washington's 3rd. Blake obviously is a superstar. Desmond King is 29, but he's still got some years left in him. And obviously our 5th round pick could still be pretty good. But more importantly, those guys still are on contract, so we ate a bit of cap just to open up some more positions on our team, as we now have 3 god-tier corners. It's kind of like our Miami Dolphins franchise out here, which you should take a look at if you haven't. Damn, by the way, Savage got a nice couple of speed upgrades. I don't know if that was from us or if he actually just has that in the game now, but that's kind of crazy. Bell is an okay player. We'll put him at the number 2, so I'm sorry, Poyer, but you're kind of just a backup at this point, but it is what it is. So here's our year 3 roster. Obviously, the team is looking pretty good now. We have, Cooks who may need to replace, but we already kind of have that set up. +5 in what? Oh, yeah, the Hall of Fame thing. I was about to say, crazy catch in traffic, though. That's insane. And the release and whatnot. But I think most teams have that anyways. O-line, Fowler will be the replacement at guard. Everyone else, assuming we can afford them, is set at offensive line for the rest of this thing. Tight end seems to be set. Running back, if you could play better. Quarterback should be set. Hopefully he plays better. Defensively, we have Hardeman or McClellan, whoever's better. Cornerback's absolutely set. D-line maybe replace Greenard, but he's playing like one of the best players in the league. Safeties are set. It's a team that just needs to keep developing, but this would be a dream come true for Houston, and honestly, for me as a fan that doesn't really have like any eggs in the basket, it would be sick to see. I would love it. Houston doesn't deserve any of this. This is what I'm saying with Hardeman, though. You know, he's a little more athletic. He's already star. He gets the 10K boost. Worth it. Negotiations. Poyer, no. Connor Williams, no. Perriman, no. Michael Woods. I mean, all these guys are pretty much all backups. So, I mean, saving some money. This is a disgusting finish to the season. Oh, yeah, we won a game there. Oh, Bryce Young's numbers, at least yards-wise, look pretty good. We went on a legendary losing streak of, how many games was it? 5 straight. 38-0 against the Colts. I'm sure the Colts are 38-0 better than us, right? Yeah, obviously, without a doubt. Still, it's an improvement at 8-9, but man, talk about some BS, dude. Bryce Young, though, like I said, with the yards, very high. Touchdowns are good-ish. Picks are way too high, though. Walker sucks because he's small, I think. I think that's what it is. I just think you need to be a trucking back with size. Because number 18 is disgusting, don't get me wrong, but he just sucks. I don't know what else to tell you. He's just bad. Receiving, Watson was pretty good again. Edmonds was decent for a year 1. Dulcich, not bad. Dulcich, whatever. Cooks could go to X Factor. Kept him at the number 1 spot. I was like, you know what? He is still pretty good. Let him stay there. Greener need to be replaced. I mean, maybe, but 9 is still pretty good. Karlaftis has been pretty good. Pick totals are about average. Kicking, pretty terrible, to be honest. Maybe they watched that video of mine and decided to change it, because it does kind of seem like all of a sudden now the lower overall guys with bad awareness have actually missed a lot of kicks for us, but it might also just be them trying to get us to lose games, right? You know, they got to simulate a loss somehow. Missing field goals, no matter who your kicker is a way to do that. And, yeah, I mean, we're going to be headed to year 4 without a playoff berth, but I mean, if trends are to be looked at, I'd imagine we'll be in the postseason next year. We probably should have been this year, but 85 overall, a lot of money. Maybe we sign one more name, perhaps. And, you know, the guys are getting better and better every season because they're young. Well, some things are back to normal. Cowboys versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, with the Cowboys winning it all. About 90 mil to work with, 85 overall. So we are in a pretty good spot. Any dev-ups? Offensively, none. No dev-up for Cooks, which is just shocking. Walker, I still can't believe that. I got to look again at that overall. I mean, I just don't understand how you can be that fast and just suck. He's just so bad. Defensively, any dev-ups? Greenard, the X Factor. He's 28, but he's an X Factor. 88 finesse. The man is a good player. I'm going to let him stay as the starter. Of course, Price is the superstar. Ward almost feels like the odd man out here. It's just weird. The corners we drafted are insane. Darnell Savage may need to be replaced already. He's 28 years old, and he really hasn't progressed that well. Blackman, he's 83 overall. He's 1 year younger, so he at least has a little bit more potential. Looking at the linebackers, Queen went up to superstar. Hardeman stayed at star after his dev up early in the season. Mid-KO. Mid-zone KO is insanely good for a linebacker. The DTs have kind of flew under the radar so far, but we'll just let it keep on going. But Karlaftis needs a contract. He's been great for us. There's a couple of guys that are going to need some contracts, but we should have the money. I mean, like I said, if we're going to pay anyone, maybe we pay for one player, but overall, I mean, I'm kind of just chilling because we do have to pay players, so Don't want to spend too much. Save that money for these rookie deals that we have to get past. $88 million. Wide receiver is on the radar, but I think we have our guys, even if Cooks is just the number 3. Donald would be nice. Don't need him. Tackle, don't need him. Aaron Jones isn't off the board. I mean, not every running back can be a great player, even if he's a good overall. Aaron Jones for a 3-year 25, if that rejuvenated the run game, which he looks really good for, a 30-year-old running back, I'm willing to do it. I might do it in general. I think this is a good decision. Punter, Jack Fox, probably wouldn't be a free agent, so we need a punter, but it probably isn't going to be him. Russo, none of these guys really hit the way Aaron Jones does, so I'm probably willing to do like a 3-year 35 or something, whatever it takes to get him here, because it kind of feels like that's the only thing we're missing right now is a run game. 3-year 34 doesn't even really put us out that much far ahead of them, so a 3-year 37, which even then in real life isn't even crazy to ask for, is going to be our guy, I suppose. I mean, we're just not getting anything out of Kenneth. I mean, what can we do? So we should have about 77 mil to re-sign, a lot of the rookie guys that we have are youngsters on contracts, which there are a lot. I mean, I'd say at least 40 mil of that's going to be gone. So glad we're able to save a lot of that money. And we will have to look ahead a little bit because we do need to draft right now. And it doesn't really seem like there's a glaring need to draft for. So realistically, good job Aaron Jones joining the team. Realistically, you kind of just have to think about, players that you're willing to part with rather than having to part away with. Like Kenneth Murray, I think he needs a contract here, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not paying him. I mean, I'm just letting him go. I mean, he's just not worth it, dude. He just sucks. I don't know what to tell you. These 5'9" running backs just aren't good in sim. I mean, what is it? I just don't get it. His carrying's good. His ball carry vision's good. Juke and spin are good. His change of direction's good. He's one of the fastest backs in the league. Trucking and stiff arm aren't even that bad. Just wearing number 18, is that the problem? I mean, I think it's a problem, but I don't know what to tell you. But as far as other guys, Gardner we're going to re-sign. Davis probably re-sign, so maybe look for a lineman just in case we don't want to. Karlaftis, you have to. Raymond, you have to. Kenneth, you don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Watson needs to re-sign, but that shouldn't be more than like 8 or 9 per. It's actually not as big of a re-signing season as I thought. It still will probably be about 40 to 50, but as far as like the names themselves, not crazy, right? And then Bryce is probably going to get the option, but no one else is, I think. There's just no point, and you might as well just pay them right away. I also kind of forgot to look at scouting. Should have scouted a safety, but I put 2 wide receivers on with a, I believe it was a pass rushing linebacker. I don't know if that's actually, maybe it's just a position that doesn't have, the easiest way to prove how good you are, but is it just always saying he's not worth it? He's due for a new contract next offseason, and judging by his performance last year, he doesn't deserve one. I don't know where they see that, but okay. I mean, I figured I would just to make it simpler, I would go by Devin overall, but they're just like, nah, they all suck. Is this glitched? He's given us double-digit sacks every single season as a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. Well, since being a rookie, at least. Maybe year 1 he didn't, but I'm going to actually take a look. 13 as a rookie, 12 as a sophomore, and junior year, 11.5. Brought almost no value to us last year. I guess if pass rush is not valuable, then, yeah, he sucks. Hold the F up. I didn't actually see how good he is, but that B power, everything else does look pretty bad, but projected undrafted talent grade. Wow, that's bad. That's pretty freaking bad, dude. Okay, I'm not drafting him, I'll tell you that, but wow. All right, fair enough. We got some wide receivers as well. Of course, they didn't fully scout, did they? I think it was... Which guys was it, actually? I don't know, but yeah, yikes. I know it's interdivisional, but it's kind of the only team offering us a pick this year, and I'm willing to do it. They're 10-7, so I imagine they already have their quarterback. If this is a quarterback, I'm going to be sad. Fair enough, it's an edge rusher. We get a second-round pick, and we're most likely still going to have the quarterback selection that I was looking at. Wide receiver selection, Mr. Jaron Moats. He is still there. He's kind of the future replacement for Brandon Cooks. Super freaking fast. Some decent traits, decent skills, and hidden. He is hidden. 96 speed. He is literally Brandon Cooks, 96 speed, 82 excel. That's kind of the way Cooks is built, or was built before he kind of regressed. He's still really good for us, but he's not going to last forever. With this pick, I kind of want to go, well, realistically best available, but there are a couple of safeties that look decent as well. So here's one of the safeties, Marquise Barrett. Of course, all I know is his tackle is a B, but very, very fast. Looks like Darnell Savage. I know we're kind of, naming everyone that, along the cross the board there. Philip Spiegel looks really good too. Who else do we have? We have Gibson. Don't know a whole lot about him, but an A pursuit, decently fast, and then a B power move. There's some really good players in this class still, and I mean, I'm going to keep moving on to, the last couple of picks. I really want the safety more than anyone. Is that not the guy that was undrafted projection? Okay. Like I said, I want the safety more than anyone, but I'm not willing to make a trade up for any specific one. I'm now going to, though, as Spiegel goes to the Eagles. Seemingly a good pick, but a little surprised he's still there, so maybe he's actually not. But we're going to go to the Steelers. Going to try to trade up with them. 38. We obviously added that extra second-round pick, which is going to be clutch. How far are we moving up here? I don't feel like we need to move up that much. A third round next year should do the trick, to be honest. Hell, even a third round might be a little too high. It is what it is, though. We're going to be moving up. I should have given the other second round. It is what it is. We gave him a third next year, added a fifth this. Our projected pick isn't going to be as high as they said. I'd imagine, 8 and 9, getting better every season. With Aaron Jones at the running back spot now, we should be even better. I almost just went running back because I was talking about a running back. Marquise Barrett could be a very sick player for us. We miss Kyle Hamilton. Maybe getting a second chance at him here. And normal dev, very athletic, but normal dev is not good. He'll play the number 2 spot for this upcoming season. And I think I'm going to trade up for Harold Gibson as well. I mean, pick 22 is not that far back, and obviously Greenard's good, but we don't know how hard he's going to regress. If he has a season where he's like 4 sacks, I mean, you kind of need a backup, and that's literally the only position that's really like super underdeveloped for us. We have backups ready to go at any time for a lot of positions, so we have a lot of depth everywhere but edge, so I think that's the best choice. We're going to give them, I think this is the pick where you actually have to probably give them that higher selection, right? I mean, do you have any we could actually maybe get rid of McClellan. He's pretty good. Of course, I really don't want to pay Sewell, but he's still pretty young. So Cody McClellan instead of the third. I mean, that's a pretty good trade for them. 14 spots with a 76 overall star dev linebacker who had pretty good hit power on top of it. That third round pick I kind of want to use on a lineman. So I think we made a pretty good move here to hopefully take, maybe the future at the position. Harold Gibson, edge rusher, hidden, 84 speed, 87 excel, prototypical good edge rushing player. Yeah, draft capital mixed with us is usually a pretty good combination. Pick one in the third round. Let's see if any of those linemen are still there. There is the guard. Let's have to take a look to see if he's that good or not. D run block. Pretty athletic, pretty strong. I can't take him, dude. I can't do it, dude. Man, I can't do it. Linebacker we already got. Well, we already have linebackers. Niles McClendon. I think this is a trade down. We're going to be betting against the Eagles, who I did believe made the playoffs. So second round pick from them could be a huge L for us, but also could be massively good for us. So we're taking the bet on it. Don't really have anyone else here anyways. Don't really even have anyone we need in general. We'll see how things kind of line up when we have to start paying players, specifically this season, and then even more scary next season. Unfortunately, my other linebacker is gone. 5th round pick. I think we're going to trade down again. We had a couple of 4th round picks for our 5th round picks, so kind of adding extra for next year. Here, I think we could use a quarterback backup. So Tucker Ford, I don't know how good he is, but he's on our team. 86 throw power, a little bit of speed, not the worst. And I'm going to take a high accuracy punter. 91 kick power, had an A in the accuracy. We'll see how good that actually turns out to be. We kind of forgot punters, so hopefully he's decent. Another pretty good draft, I would imagine, in the books. I'm actually kind of forgetting some of the players already, to be honest, but didn't really have that deep of a class. We landed how many? 4 or 5 players, maybe 5 players. 75 speed. I forgot. 75 overall. 91 speed. Jeromepkr. I don't know what his dev is. Has run after the catch and possession. I suppose for a smaller guy, that's not bad. But gonna change that number to something in like the early 10s and whatnot, if we can. 15 isn't pretty, but it's something. Start development traits. What else do we have? So the free safety was normal, but 73 overall. Insanely fast. 91 speed, 91. Well, maybe not insanely, but very fast. Good zone coverage. He is a guy that you can start and expect to dev up for early. Gibson is hidden development traits. Great block shedding. Swim move, it's really all you need. Of course, he's a power guy, but I would definitely develop him as a swim move guy. Doesn't really matter too much in this situation, though. I think Greenard is a left end, right? He should be. Make him something in the 50s, 54 with star development trait. Thought maybe there was a chance for higher. The quarterback's trash. And then the punter is a 74 overall. 85 accuracy, 91 kick power. That's what I'm talking about. All right, team for year 4. No playoffs yet, but this has got to be the playoff year. We have Bryce Young as a 90 overall. Cooks is still pretty damn good as an 86. He's playing really well at least. We have some other good wide receivers, but like, I can't just start them over him, right? Like, I mean, they're not as good technically. I'll put Watson at the number 1 spot just because he is 6'4", and I mean, this is kind of the year where he needs to take over. Number 4, it does not look good. But Aaron Jones could be that key to get into the playoffs and then some. Obviously, the defense looks pretty damn good right now. Still not quite there overall-wise, but, I mean, at the end of the day, we can't really do a whole lot when we're not actually winning games. Who the F is calling it quits? Who is it? Tunsil! Huh? He's like 30. Is he like 31? What is he? Please stop losing then. I mean, I think we lost 1 game and won 3 since the retirement thing, so he should be good. I'm feeling a lot better. Still not sure where I want to go as long as we're winning here. What a little... to be fair, I feel the same way. Hey! Superstar dev for a defensive tackle. Win. And, of course, Watson didn't get to Superstar's second chance. Failed. So this is our first year of really having to re-sign anyone. Let's see how much we have to pay out. So Sauce Gardner is a franchise corner. He's worth over 100 mil. Going to give him 105, a 6-year 105. Even that might not be enough, but he's still, kind of young. It's still a pretty good contract. Karlaftis, I mean, I think that's a 6-year 100 plus, right? I mean, he's had an insane career so far for us. A little under 20 per, which is, I mean, cheap as hell when you really think about it. Nay Davis, center, but still going to stick around. 3-year 33.9. Obviously, we skipped right over Kenneth because whether Aaron Jones is going to suck next year or not, Kenneth has sucked his whole career with us. I mean, he's just not been good. Of course, his best season yet so far is as a backup, but that's just an anomaly. This year, I was like, oh, maybe he's going to turn into a good player. But then you've seen it. I mean, it's not worth it. He's not good. Christian Watson, a guy that I don't really want to put too much of our future into. So a 4-year 40. I mean, he's played pretty well. About a 4-year 47. He's probably worth a little bit more than that. But what else do we have? Raymond. I think it's Raymond. Well, I don't really care, to be honest. A 5-year 50. He's been good, not great. He's given up a lot of sacks. But, of course, I don't know if that's just something EA does. Because it seems like no matter how good your tackles are, they always give a bunch of sacks. Marquise Bell was kind of a fun player to have. Don't really need him anymore, though, is because obviously we have the free safety we grabbed that should probably be starting, but he's a backup even, so just don't have enough spots on the team. I think if we win, we're in. And we are 10-7, first of many. Yeah, suck my knob. Of course, we did have a bit of a bad stretch. Ended up finishing pretty strong, obviously. I mean, a couple of losses, but looking pretty good, obviously. A couple of losses there, a bit of a yikes, but came away with a victory right at the end. And, yeah, I wish it would have been a little bit better of a season. I ran the Chiefs playbook for like 4 weeks when we were talking about retirement for Tunsil. Won all those games, switched back to Green Bay. Was a little iffy, but Bryce Young, pretty damn good season. Aaron Jones, great season. Watson, solid, maybe good enough for Superstar. Edmonds was pretty good. Cooks was a little bit worse. Dolchich, if that's his name, did pretty well. Raymond, just, I mean, oh, Lord. What about the sack totals? I mean, Greener, 9.5. Karlaftis, with his worst season yet, didn't change the scheme because the sack totals were good. I haven't actually paid attention to the defensive numbers, but the sack totals have been good, which I figured means it's a good scheme, I guess, but we actually need to start paying attention to this. 13th, I mean, that's not terrible. Third offense, 13th defense, it's not terrible, like I said. Looking at the awards, anything at all, maybe best, about to say best wide receiver perhaps, and we did it. But we're in the postseason for the first time in this rebuild. Are we ready yet? We could be. We are a very good overall. As you can see, 89 overall. It's probably tied for top 3 in the league any given Sunday. Let's give it a go. I mean, let's give it this Sunday, hopefully. The Colts, 84 overall. We're an 89. They have a great team, specifically that ground game and those blockers, but we have a really good team, balanced all across the board. 4-year rebuild of the Texans wouldn't be terrible. I mean, it's a pretty tough roster starting out. 6-14. Don't lose because of the kicker, dude. Offense driving, gets a touchdown apparently. It didn't really look like one, but somehow it was. 19-14. Is that another miss, or was it a 2-point conversion attempt? We're down by 3 because of a kicker missing an extra point. Like, that's nuts. He hit it this time, though. Defense gets a pick. Offense is just like, hey, we'll take a field goal, giving them a chance still. 4th down, we stop. What? Huh? What do you mean? It was 4th down, and they went back like 20 yards. I don't care. I'm coming in and watching it. I'm going to play... I mean, this whole damn D-line's solid. We kind of almost cucked the team, but nice little play for Taylor. Stupid for him to fight, though. I'll try to use her the worst player, but they're all kind of good. I mean, it's just a really good team. I'll go with Greener, I guess. Doesn't really matter since they're, kind of preventing. And we're not doing anything user. Last play, potentially, and it's close. But the team wins by 4. Not by a whole lot, but by 4. I didn't actually play. I actually probably hurt the team more than I helped because I got locked up. But Bryce Young, pretty good performance. Obviously, Aaron Jones, good enough. Jonathan Taylor killed it, as he always does. Receiving, kind of a group effort, but mainly Watson, who's really developing into a true number 1, maybe even a superstar, like we said. This is actually a DT we had a chance at, and Tim Smith's been pretty average, maybe even below average. Of course, Reichard didn't miss an actual field goal, but that extra point almost costed us the entire game. Divisional round, you got to imagine one of the all-star teams is coming up, and maybe not. It's the Jets, who are a full 9 overalls less than us. This can't be the team that beats us. I will come in and try to win this game if I have to, and anyone that cries about it can honestly just suck it. There's not a whole lot there to suck, but you can find it. That's just weird. Chiefs move on to the championship round. I mean, it was going to be an L no matter what, but you look at these two teams. You have the Chiefs and the Bengals. It's like, yeah, those are some powerful teams. And then it's like, okay, who are they waiting for? The Jets and the Texans. Yep, those are the teams you'd expect. 8-7. You're like, 8 points. Oh, wow, they went for 2. Got ballsy. Nope. Field goal, 2-point conversion, another field goal. It's a weird matchup. We are tied up at 15, down by 3 now with 2 minutes left. Come on, Bryce. Be the guy. Or just keep running the ball. I mean, they have time, but they seem like they're kind of just okay with going to overtime, which I'm not really sure why you would be. And that's where I wanted the ball. That is where I wanted the ball. It was there. It was a weird delivery, but it got there. And, of course, we blow the opportunity. And we're going to take a sack now. God, I love Brandon Cooks. What a guy. He basically pulled an A.J. Green of the Cardinals, of course. Well, at the time was the Cardinals. I know they say to run it to get a little bit closer for the kicker, but I think this kicker's too bad to not get way closer. And no shot. Good fight there. Jesus. Holy crap. 57-yard field goal. I'm kicking this damn thing. If they ice me, I am not kicking this damn thing. Kick is up. Wow, I've never seen that. That was like perfectly timed. Yeah, you can kick the field goal, buddy. Get us overtime, pal. He does. Woo. Save my ass, I'll tell you what. Oh, Lord, we're going backwards. Nice little recovery there. I mean, that's a tough one. Offense is looking good. They're close. They go for the field goal. No shot. This is not looking good. Defense. Defense. Look, it's just walking down on our sick defense with their great offense, right? I'm coming in again. I'll be Smith. Smith sucks. He is actually useless. Takes the double team, I suppose. Kareem Hunt gains about 4. I say all this about you really just letting them walk down on you, and here they are walking down on me. I mean, you can't run commit here, but you really should. Oh, my. Hello? He's 1 human. We're 3. Can we, like, not lose the game to a running back when he's got 1 good blocker and that's it? Please, fellas. Smith. Greener, you son of a gun. And he's short. Ooh, this is a close one. To the 1. Can this defense make the crazy happen? Obviously, you're running goal line in this situation. What the hell? They got 3 wide receivers out. If they pass this ball, I'm suing EA for fraudulent claims. I mean, this ain't no damn simulation game, I'll tell you what. It's from the 1 yard line, and they throw the ball. Okay. I mean, sure. Nice fight, and he will go down. All right. I mean, it's looking like potential double overtime. So what happens here? Does the team get another chance, and then it goes into another coin toss? Is that what this is? It's a long simulation is what it is. Actually, I was going to skip it. I want to return the ball. We've got Moats, the rookie speed demon back there. And they're going to give him a chance. Oh, Lord, you've sold today. Not a bad return. I was, got a little excited, but I swear if we throw a pick to lose. Sheesh. Is it not a reset? Wait, huh? Oh! Savage! You hero! The longest sim we've had in a rebuild in a while. Yeah, Baldy. Actually, he's not really bald in there, but okay. There's nothing wrong with being bald, all right? Looking up the stats, Bryce wasn't great, but he also didn't throw 2 interceptions. Aaron Jones outplayed Kareem Hunt. Watson has been kind of that guy for us, obviously. Defensively, Greener with 2 sacks. My man, John Franklin Myers with 2 sacks as well. The former Texan, Zach Cunningham with a sack. Tim Smith, the guy who's useless, but did well here. Savage, the hero, of course, missed 2 field goals, but Reichard had 7 attempts. Can you really blame him? He hit a 57-yarder on his own, so I almost choked the game for us, but at least we got to see some gameplay, I guess. You know, completely almost ruined the whole thing, but hey, we got some gameplay. Woo. I still can't believe, though, like, who the hell did those teams that we just played? I suppose the first one, the wild card, was kind of just like, you know, the Colts, fair enough. But the Jets, who did the Jets beat? Did they have a bye week? What? Bro, what is happening? Did the Jets have a bye week? How? Okay, 11-6. In fairness, I thought it was going to be like 13-14 wins. It's still crazy for the Jets, but all right, it's all irrelevant as we're about to play the freaking Chiefs and lose. But 90-90, it's even. Freaking Lions against the Cowboys on the other side. I really wonder who's going to win that one. In fairness, Detroit has made the Super Bowl. They barely lost to the Chiefs, speaking of, as it's tied up 7-7. It's not looking promising, but the defenses are holding. Down by 7, halftime, no score, even though we had a chance. Down by 4, down by 1 now. Down by 4 again. They are driving, but they get nothing. Offense, hello? You're going to go for it here, which is, I mean, I get it. I agree, I suppose, but you can also get away with just, you know, punting the ball. Cooks. My hero. Wow, Bryce has not played well at all. It's the Chiefs, so I don't care about coming in and, you know, delivering a godly throw as the Texans finally get in for the score. But you can see the Chiefs are making quick work of it. Defense, interception, 3rd and 1 stop, though. Tied up with 3 minutes left to go to the Super Bowl, and we've lost the game. Like, you really can't punt the ball here, but you also really can't go for it here. This is a gutsy call. I mean, you're kind of just betting on Watson. And that's a bet I'm willing to damn take. That is legendary. It's a late hit anyways. I hope if it's a hold, that's a GG. Yeah. Now this is what we like to call changing the game. You know, some of the other ones you can argue, okay, we didn't really make an impact. But that, I mean, that's an impact, obviously. And we're going to kick a field goal. 1 minute left. This is obviously why you don't punt the ball to them. 45-yard line. Hail Mary chance, but also a chance to take a shot outside. I mean, if I'm them, I'm taking a quick throw to the left. If I can't get it, I'm just taking the field goal. It's the wind, you don't know. I mean, you can have the short play all you want. Good swat. What the hell? Good try on the catch, but Mahomes just threw a duck if I've ever seen one. But I don't give a damn, because we are headed to the Super Bowl. Bryce Young, not good at all. But Mahomes wasn't that much better. Looking at the ground game, wasn't super great. Tyreek Hill had a run, wasn't really for anything. You know, a lot of different guys just got catches. Cooks was good even without our throw to him. Greenard was great. Karlaftis was decent. Pick for Snead. Kicking was perfection. I mean, it was just a gutsy game that our team was able to win to the Super Bowl. Could this be the year? It is very hard to win a Super Bowl in general. But when you're using a team like the Texans who, I mean, there's no guarantee, there's no verdict out on it. I feel like the game bases the players and the Sims off of the team name. You know, if that is the case, it's not a team name that's expected to win often. This is a tough situation. But here it is. If it's the Lions, I got to take a look again, see how they got here. Is it the Lions? How? We'll take it. I guess. They are an 87 over. I got to see that team too. But here they are again. I mean, they're just kind of killing it. Wildcard round. They beat the Giants. Fair enough. It's close matchups, I guess. Cardinals, not that hard to beat. Dallas is tough to beat, though. And then, obviously, they're going against us. Please, Houston, win the game. That's all I ask for. Let's take a look at their team. Actually, well, first, don't ruin the order we do this in. We'll take a look at our dev-ups. No X Factor for Young, but Watson gets the superstar, which is clutch. He kind of needs shorter stuff, so we're going to go with short or slot, which is short stuff. Acceleration +2 to short route. He's a very solid player with some speed. Jukebox and short out elite is kind of broken for a guy his size. And then DevUps. Hardiman goes to superstar, I believe. And then Ward finally gets a superstar. About as clutch timing as you can ask for, too. He's obviously 28 years old now. Clutched the F up. This is a team. This is a team. This is a football team. But can this football team... Actually, I want to see their roster first. And 93 offense with an 80 defense. That's kind of strange, and I like it. Let's take a look. The quarterback was Stroud, and he's even better than Bryce. Love it. DeAndre Swift, I don't know how good he actually is playing, but he's a decent overall. Amon-Ra St. Brown's decent. Fleming's decent. Chark is decent. A tight end, T.J. Hawkinson's insane. Aquanu, 89 overall, is not as developed as I'd expect, but pretty good, obviously. Jonah Jackson's decent. Frank Ragnow, pretty damn good. Kinnard, pretty good. Sewell, not as good as I would have thought, to be honest. Tuitt's okay. Barnett's awful. Bobby Brown and the DTs are awful. Noel is not good. Middle linebacker's not good. Right out's pretty awful. And not even the right, well, kind of the right scheme fit, but at the same time, kind of not. Ringo's insane. McDuffie's okay. Once again, I expect him to be a little bit higher developed. Fenton's, Kelvin Joseph, kind of wasted. Super slow free safety. Strong safety's a god. We have the better team, simply put. This is our game to lose. Here it is. Jump forward to the end of the game. Detroit is moving. Detroit is moving again. I don't like it, but we're bouncing back with the lead. Down by 6. Up by 1. It's a bit of a back and forth here. Down by 6. No score before half like last week. 3 points. Is that going to be enough, though? Down by 10. Down by 3. All tied up. This is a crazy one. Down by 3. I farted because I am excited. And we got to come in to save the day. Kind of. Not really. I mean, the team's actually in an okay spot. Might even quick throw this to Jones out the backfield. We're going to go underneath to... Ooh, good job, Edmonds. Falling down. We'll call a timeout. Once again, field goal is an option. But for me personally, I want to win it all. I mean, obviously, but I'm going to potentially risk it all here Red zone scissors is so broken, but even though Watson's fast, they may cover it. I've seen the AI cover this better than most users, to be honest. And not today! Dot! Watson with the footwork! Back in the end zone does it! What a throw and catch! This is a crazy Super Bowl as well. Pick 1 and 2 going at it. Unleashing a demon of a throw and almost caught up to. I mean, that is just perfect. Look at the footwork. It's like literally there. That's one of the best throwing catches in Super Bowl history without a doubt. And of course, they're going to have to review it because it's just too big of a play not to. But he got it. He absolutely got it. We ain't going to watch the damn thing. The more times the Super Bowl screen shows up, the more times I get copyright striked. Let's just call it that. Don't have a magical play down the field, please. And we win! Let's take a look at those numbers. Very similar, of course, a little bit more accurate from Stroud. What else do we have? Aaron Jones was okay. Swift was okay. Of course, Kenneth Walker is just so useless in this. It's actually nuts. Not going to draft him ever again. Sack totals, 1-1. Nothing massive. Picks from Savage. Savage, of course. Of course, no force wins, no restarts. Just a clean year 4 Houston Texans Super Bowl victory. Some of the teams that are just super unexpected to win it all, even though we did pretty early, did well pretty early in it. Gotta just take a look. Even if people don't ask, sometimes I'm just like so impressed. I'm just like, I gotta show them just in case it's that one comment that's just like, you cheater. It's like, oh yeah? Let me show you something real quick. That sounds like something Uncle Timmy would do in the alleyway. But obviously, Christian Watson has been that guy for us. Cooks was also that guy for us all the way through. He's 32, and he's still good enough to go for another year. Obviously, we didn't really get to use this Moats guy, but he is absolutely primed to be the next Brandon Cooks. Once again, built so similarly to him, height-wise, weight-wise, speed to excel and whatnot. O-line was pretty good. Let's take a look at Raymond. Is it Ryman? I don't know, dude. But he's obviously built really well as a tackle. 90 finesse for run and a pass block. Super strong in general. Speaking of super strong, Torrance, see how good he is. He was like 97 strength. He's now 99. Of course, power. That's what you want for the interior. That's the way he was developed. Nate Davis moved to center. Can't really blame him for moving there or for us moving him there. Fowler's kind of new, so there's not really a point in even showing him, to be honest. Let's take a look at Tunsil. 32 years old now, contemplating, I almost said something else, contemplating retirement, and thankfully he didn't, because he wins a ring with us and still has many years left. Well, maybe 2 to 3, which is still many. Good route runner, still developing, though. Looking at the defensive side of things now, obviously Denzel Ward is not really a point in looking at him, but Gardner, the X factor out the gate. Zone coverage kind of sucks, but he's a god at man. Let's take a look here. Justin Ijboijbe. I don't know, dude. It's words. English isn't my first language. It's my only language. Greenard, 90 finesse. He's just a sim god. He got to 80 speed as well. I will still look at Denzel Ward. I like seeing high numbers. Whew, I love him. He's so good. Price never really got a super chance, but 87 overall. Really good out the gate. He's actually insane. Darnell Savage, 84 overall, was debating on replacing him. That's why we drafted that other safety. And boy, did he come up big in the playoffs for us. Blackman, 85 overall, 28 years old. Very good in zone coverage. That face scan, man. Whew, that is not great. Patrick Queen, 86 overall, 27 years old. Very good, fast coverage linebacker. Sewell, 91 overall X Factor. Looking like a beast. Of course, great block shed. Good coverage as well. I mean, he's probably the best linebacker on the team. And speaking of linebackers, look at Hardiman. Kind of came on, kind of recent. Great block shed as well. I mean, this is a team that can stop the run, let me tell you. Tim Smith was pretty basic for us, though. I mean, really just never developed. Really didn't do anything for us. But that is going to be it for our Houston Texans post-Deshaun Watson rebuild. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys, if you're Texans fans, I feel like after, kind of the roster you're fielding and you're kind of like recent of a franchise in the NFL, if there's even any of you guys left. But if you are a Houston Texans fan, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are hoping. Once again, you guys need so many things. Do you really, take number 3, put it on a franchise tackle? It's not a bad idea. It's a pretty good idea, actually, but you could also trade that down for a king's ransom, potentially, and you kind of need that right now, so I don't know. When you need so much talent, even when you have a ton of future cap space coming up, it wouldn't be the worst thing to trade down. I think it's a good decision, but I don't think it's going to be something that happens in real life. Once again, he's open to trading down, but who's actually going to be trading up? There's not really a set position that you guarantee you want to trade up for. I mean, there's some names, but maybe you find a team that's looking for a tackle badly, perhaps, but I don't know. We'll see. And of course, next year they would be one of the teams, if you're a betting man, that would probably land one of the top 2 QBs. And if they don't, if they just miss the top 2 because of a late season win, unless Davis Mills is the guy, that's going to be another huge Houston L. But regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, maybe leave a like, subscribe for new, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays, and then twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams, which I've lacked on hard, but I keep bringing it up because maybe one day I'll come back and bless the world. Oh, Lord. Like I said, Raiders, Devontae Adams rebuild some point this week. Not really super pressed on it. I don't want rebuild. Then I'll have nothing to rebuild until the draft. Yeah, playoffs for the Dolphins franchise will be this week as well, maybe even tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Oh, maybe second channel PKR Plays video tonight. San Andreas, probably, most likely. But that's it. Enough of that. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video. Also, thanks for watching.